Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. Sorry that I look all pink and flushed and just gross. I just literally got out of the shower, out the bath. So in today's my life is chaos. In today's video I want to talk about the fear of radiation from imaging studies. So a few of you might know that my pregnancy, my son is 9 weeks old, so my recent pregnancy was quite eventful. Everything that could go wrong went wrong. Anyway, so cut a really long story short, but basically I had to have some CT scans. So I had 2 CT scans whilst I was pregnant of the head. After, because I was more concerned about the baby than I was about me, but because it was above the chest, and they put a lead apron on me, it was all right. But yeah, so I had 2 CT scans with about 4 days in between when I was pregnant, and then after I had the baby, I had another CT scan, and then I had something called a DSA, which is digital subtraction angiogram. So it's basically an angiogram. Anyway, that doesn't really matter, but basically, so I had 4 imaging studies in about the space of about 2 months, which is a fair bit of radiation. So I had to have it done because it was important. Fortunately for me, the problem that they thought that I had has turned out to be not really anything. They thought I had, I'm not even going to go into it actually because people will start freaking out, but what they thought I had, I didn't have. Not a brain tumour, but yeah. Anyway, so I had to have it done because what they thought I could have could potentially be very, very dangerous. So I needed these studies done, basically. So at the time, I didn't really think about the radiation risk. Obviously, they did say to me, you know, when I was having it done, you know, there's risks and whatever, and they made me sign a form. But I was so worried about what was going on with my brain that I didn't really think about it. So now that I don't really have anything sort of to stress about so much in regards to my health, now that that is kind of being cleared up, what am I stressing about now? The radiation. So I have spent probably all week on Google stressing myself out, getting myself in a right state, basically just thinking about the amount of radiation that I had for this thing that they thought I had in my brain. And I even have taken it to the extreme of, on 2 occasions, so the first time was about 2 weeks ago, and the second time was this morning, I've rung up the x-ray department in my hospital, and I've asked to speak to like one of the radiographers. So I spoke to a woman 2 weeks ago, and again spoke to a guy today, and the guy that I spoke to today, we were on the phone for 35 minutes because he really was trying to like reassure me and stuff, and he was giving me all these kind of figures and loads of stuff. So although they have said to me that at the end of the day I needed these tests done because in that instance the benefit was greater than the risk, so he was just trying to reassure me that, you know, there are loads of people that have way more scans than that, and particularly people who are, you know, going through cancer treatment, they can't get scanned all the time, and then, you know, lots of these people, their cancer doesn't come back. So yeah, he was trying to reassure me, but I think what has been freaking me out is that I had my, because it was of my, you know, I had head CT scans, and luckily the brain is the least sensitive to sort of like DNA changes, so that is a good thing. However, what was I going to say then? Oh my god, this keeps happening. Do you know, since I've had my son, my train of thought just goes all the time. What point was I trying to make there? Oh yeah. So the point I was trying to make is that the good thing is with with the brain, sorry, it is less sensitive to DNA changes. However, should you get cancer from having head CT scans, obviously is going to be a brain tumour, and brain tumours are, you know, not good, are they? Like, out of all of the cancers, brain tumours, you know, don't have the greatest, cancerous ones now I'm talking about, don't have the best survival. So that's what worries me. So yeah, so like I said, I've had 4 imaging things done over the space of about 2 months, which is just worrying me, playing on my mind. But I kind of just today, I just stopped reading and I thought to myself, there is literally nothing I can do now. Like, it's done. I can't go back and change it. Like, I've had the scans done, and I needed the scans done because, like I said, had this thing that they thought that I had been there, and you know, it, you know, that could have killed me. So I'm trying to just talk myself down and just say, Sherelle, like, there's nothing you can do. It's done. And either, you know, I'm trying to kind of rationalise with myself that the odds are in my favour that I won't develop a brain tumour from this. And I'm also trying to weirdly reassure myself that, so like radiation-induced cancers usually, it takes decades. So anywhere between 10 and 40 years. I'm quite morbid. So I was just thinking, oh, well, if it happens in 25 years, the kids will be older, you know, I'll be all, I can go then. I know it sounds really morbid, but I think my health anxiety mainly is focused around being there for my kids. So I've kind of, I don't know, calmed myself down by thinking, well, even if you do get a brain tumour from this, the kids will probably be adults then anyway, so they won't need you. And again, another thing I've reassured myself is I've been thinking, oh, well, if I do get a brain tumour in 20 years, we could be curing brain, you know, the survival for all cancers is you know, is getting better all the time, isn't it? So that's kind of how I talked myself down tomorrow. There's a good chance that in the morning I will be absolutely back to square one and I'll start stressing all over again, because that's kind of the way that my brain works. I'll kind of reach a conclusion, calm myself down, and I'm like, yes, that is it, no more thinking about it. And then I'll just tell myself, right, no more Google, that's it, we've worked this out. And then next morning back to square one, and literally I am like fighting with my brain constantly, and I'm like getting to the same conclusion. I'm like, right, Sherelle, that's it now, we've done this, we've talked about it, we have looked at all the options and the solutions, and that's it. But it's just a cycle, and that's just what happens with health anxiety. You think that you've you know, sorted it out in your brain, but you never will. Like, it's just health anxiety and anxiety in general. You can't argue with your brain, because your brain will always come up with something to just throw you off, and then you're just back to square one. So I am sure that there are many of you who have also had a lot of imaging studies, because we have health anxiety, and you know, we are the kind of people that will go to A&E and will request scans and stuff, because in that instance we're so terrified of whatever we're scared of that we don't really, you know, don't really mind about having the CT scan done. So yeah, if anyone, you know, feels the same, please comment below so that I don't feel like I'm completely crazy. I even, literally guys, I've taken it to the extreme. I basically found this page on Facebook for basically for radiologists, and I just literally made this message, and I'm not joking, I like copied and pasted it to about 50 people. Oh, literally, and about 2 of them have replied so far. And the 2 that did reply were just kind of like, don't worry about it. And I also, what's that app called? Quora? Q-U-O-R-A? Quora? Oh my god, I'm not even going to try and pronounce it. But that app anyway, where you can like ask questions, I asked on there as well. Because, do you know me, when I want to find something out, I have no shame. Like, I'll message anyone, I'll ring the hospital 10 times. Like, I don't get embarrassed. Like, I just don't care. People find it hysterical because other people are like, Sherelle, you have no shame. And I'm like, literally, I know. Like, I'm that bad. So, yeah, please let me know if, you know, you have the same concerns. Maybe you can help calm me down, who knows. But I think, you know, with just everything that's going on in the world as well, my mind doesn't have a lot to kind of think about, so it's just stressing out about this because it's something to stress about. So yeah, anyways, thank you for watching if you've watched this far, about me just rambling. as they do, and I'll see you guys on my next video. Bye.